Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We've just achieved Dominionhood, which means that our long project to strengthen our power in the subcontinent has finally come to fruition, and I'm very pleased with that. So, here's what we want to do. We're definitely going to start annexing some of these smaller states. Let's take a look overall at what they've got in terms of military capabilities, because the worst case scenario is we fight all of them, and if we have to do that, we have to do that. I see that as not negotiable. I definitely want to annex as many of these tiny states as I can, but I don't want to rush into it. I do want to do some changes in our overall politics. The Badra Lux are pretty loyal at the moment from our having become a dominion, so I think we can take advantage of that by moving to a dedicated police force. I think that's the sensible way to do things. That's also going to satisfy the government of India, which is going to be very important for me. Because they're a little salty. They did not want to become a dominion, but we wanted to be a dominion. The Zemdar is going to be fine. We may end up having to fight the Ryots, but I'm hoping we don't have to do that. So we'll get that started. So yes, as you can see, the Ryots are a little unhappy, but none of these movements are against it, so we shouldn't have we shouldn't have ourselves a revolutionarism problem. We shouldn't find ourselves revolting. Portugal's rivaled us back. All right, yes, that's right. We can have rivals again. Portugal, you old so and so. Denmark, you old so and so. All right, that'll give us some influence to play with. So, if I go after Siam, suppose hypothetically, I force Siam to become my protectorate. Who steps in? The Netherlands, clearly. Johor, yes. Cambodia, yes. Siak, Aceh, Kutai, Bali. Crucially not China. Maybe France. France has good relations with us, though. I think they can't currently. Now let's improve relations with France just a little bit more. And then we'll get to it, and we'll increase our power projection as well. Currently, we're over France in the prestige rankings, which I'm super pleased about. So, Sikkim, is your liberty desire going down? It's not. Curious. Bureaucratic imbroglio. Gosh darn it. A stall event straight out the gate. Why do we have a 32% stall chance now? Oh, it's just from interest groups. Interesting. I see, so there's a breakdown. That's weird, though. Okay, well, anyway. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of dedicated police force have found themselves mired in a particularly complex set of bureaucratic proceedings, grinding the work towards reform to a near halt. The fully developed bureaucratic apparatus compares with other organizations exactly as does the machine with the non-mechanical modes of production. That is to say, the teeth of its individual gears meet in accord, or its gears will gnash and churn until it eventually breaks. Damn this labyrinthine legal system, increase enactment time, reduce enactment chance, or cut through at least some of the red tape, increase enactment time, reduce bureaucracy, no reduction in enactment chance, 10% of bureaucrats become more radical. I'm going to have to do the second one. That hurts. That's a lot of bureaucrats, but it'll be fine. It'll be better to have a police force. That for sure means we're going to need to build up bureaucratic capacity. Let's throw 6 levels into West Bengal and 5 levels into East Bengal. There's labor movement unlocked. Beautiful. I actually got some government admins already on the table. Once this naval increase is completed, so hopefully things will be better. Alright, so now we're up to amicable with France. Does that change my thing here? Not really, but again, I don't think they can stand against me if we're amicable. I'm not going to be able to pull Great Britain in, but crucially, China will not get pulled in either. They have a defensive pact from the Netherlands and a guarantee of independence from the same. They're rivaling Dai Nam, so I might be able to Dai Nam with the promise of giving them, say, Champasak. Let's do it. Siam, you're coming with me. So, they have a reasonably sized army, but it's very low tech. I think I can do this entirely with the Madras army. So we'll send them here to deal with that, and I think that's going to be a completely sufficient amount of force. Chiang Mai, damaging relations, that's fine. I don't really care about that. Oh, we got a tiny spot over here. Is that wise? I should grab these two states to make that area easier to manage. It's going to cost us a pile of cash, but let's send the Bombay army down there as well. Alright, force comparison here is looking rock solid. Netherlands sides with Siam, okay, not a problem. I still think I can win. I'll send the Khalsa army, just to ensure it. The Papers Police Polemics. The national effort to implement dedicated police force has become the subject of a debate between partisan newspapers and may disrupt the lawmaking process. Dear Editor, as a private citizen definitely not connected with the ongoing national dispute over this law enforcement legislation, I, someone who is absolutely only a private citizen, have a few choice words I wish to write. Let the newspapers say what they want, 10% enactment chance. Issue our own editorials for the papers, 75% chance of reduced enactment chance, 25% chance of 20% increase. Or the papers have spoken freely enough on this matter, 75% chance of positive of a 20% increase, 25% chance of a 10% decrease. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to go with the second one. Yes! Got my 20%. That's excellent. Let's put the Indian Navy... Well, we'll leave the Indian Navy in port while we're building up these naval bases. But for now... and we have our allied armies coming to support. That's wonderful. Perhaps I didn't need to mobilize all these forces, but the cost has been only moderate, so feeling good about that. Dutch East Indies improving relations. Now... Netherlands. Now, should I get stupid? I'm not going to steal the Dutch East Indies. That would be just silly. But what I can do is throw in a Conquer CB. Okay, so those are some interesting options. Bunch of different states over here. Dutch New Guinea. Oh, they've got... Oh, because the Dutch East Indies are involved in this thing. No. I don't know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll get what I want to get. All my force comparisons are rock solid, so I'm not too worried about it. Capital's Bangkok. That's right on the border, so it shouldn't be an issue. I'll designate that as my strategic objective. And that should be fine. Untrained hands. Children working in the furniture manufactories in Bombay have suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery used in production. After examining the boy's hand, the doctor sat back down, turned to the mother, and sighed deeply. Well, I'm afraid your son is never going to become a great musician, he said. But then again, perhaps that was never one of his more likely prospects. Keep children off the factory floor, reduce dependents' income, or these new industries need all the employees they get, everyone angry, 2% increased mortality. I'm going to do the first one. It's going to lead to a slight disruption in standard of living, but shouldn't be that big of an issue. Harvest condition, extreme winds into breeze. Okay. Something going on in Chiang Mai. Law debate failed. Well, that's not ideal. Still, 31% isn't bad. Hopefully we can make this happen. Stall chance is only 23%. The Badra rocks are okay. Denmark declared a rivalry back. Dainan sides with Chiang Mai. Again, that's a them issue. Raising concerns. The Ryots expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the government of India. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clear air of the Dominion of India with a dense and vicious poison. So actually, I'm going to go with this needs to be addressed this time, because I think if the Ryots are happier, that might reduce their... That's going to reduce my stall chance here. Yes, there we go. Alright, now we're down to 14% stall chance. And that's increased my advance chance significantly. Feeling pretty good about this battle. Feeling very good about that battle. Yeah, things are looking good. We're doing very well in the battle over here as well. Once we got this territory, these two fronts are going to merge, and then we'll have a front over here. I should have stolen Malaya. Oh well. I'm going to start grabbing bits of Malaya just to unite that territory. And then we'll see how things go. After that, again, the Dutch and the Dutch East Indies do not seem interested in getting involved, so I'm feeling pretty... And by getting involved, what I really mean is in doing a naval invasion. Like, a naval invasion is the thing that would actually cause a problem for me. So having succeeded at making sure that didn't happen, I'm feeling pretty good overall. Stop failing to the debate, gosh darn it. Alright, we got their capital. So they've lost their war support protection. I am still holding on to my war support protection. Umar ibn Mustafa exiled from the Crucial States. There's quinine, very good. Not that big of a deal right now, but useful. And here we go. I think I'm going to be able to get the territory fully conquered. Abarash and Pegu. Nice. And Banjar's improving relations. Where are you? Where are you, Banjar? Here. Interesting. I've got virtually the whole country occupied. Does anyone have a war goal other than this? No? Okay. Seems like it'll be fine. They're at minus 14% war support. So now it's just a matter of us waiting out the rest of the... Hey, we got to consideration. Excellent. I'd love an advance to increase the chance here, because this comparison's making me a little worried, but I think it'll be fine. Oh, right. Is Cambodia free? No, they're a subject of Dainan, as they start. Peasant revolt in Jodhpur. Let's go ahead and put the Bombay army on the case. And propose ourselves a peace deal. Alright. So now, Siam is my protectorate. Let's start improving relations. Relations are pretty bad. Liberty Desire is going up. We got a truce with them. Let's go ahead and offer them knowledge sharing. It's actually a significant thing. I'm going to go ahead and demobilize the Madras army. Because I don't think anyone's going to get involved in this. After this, I'll... once this kicks off... So let me see. It's going to be another 4 months before I can remobilize the Madras army. So again, I'm just being kind of conscientious about this. Hey, we're in adoption. Excellent. That's actually fantastic luck. And we're in the process of building up all of the government administration that we need to build up in order to have a police force. So I'm feeling pretty jazzed about that. I think after this, we'll go to free trade, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow us to have... that's going to make the Bajraloks happy as well. The Ryots are still going to be pissed, but it is what it is. So, all of our other territories are... incorporated. So if we start ourselves a series of annexations, the part that's going to be tough is keeping Siam. Our alternative option is to start eating areas. I would love to steal this territory back from Portugal. Does Portugal have any diplomatic pacts I need to worry about? Defensive pacts with Morocco, Yasak, and Gaza. None of that concerns me. An alliance with Spain, does that concern me? How much of an army does Spain have? Spain has an army. Our navy is actually bigger than Spain's. And what kind of an army does Spain have? Mobile artillery, skirmish infantry. Okay, so it's a modern army, but it... Cannon artillery. Alright, so it's not that modern. Too close a call. An assassin's bullet narrowly missed a minister from the government of India this morning, prompting calls for the rapid passage of dedicated police force laws. The civil servants, opponents of dedicated police forces, are also being accused of implicitly supporting the assassin. This near miss is just the latest in a long line of incidents. If we don't do something today, then what? How many have to be hurt before we take action? We must protect our own. The government of India becomes happier and stronger. 10% enactment chance. Or those who oppose order must be censured. Same enactment chance, but the civil servants get weaker. I'm not necessarily interested in picking a fight with civil servants, so I'm just going to say we must protect our own. That's very good. That's a very good outcome. This might have been a mistake, but that's okay. They're currently defiant. Their liberty desire will be going down soon. They're economically dependent on us, and we can continue to increase their dependency by building stuff in them. I'm going to build up a few ports in our country just to make sure that our number of convoys stays relevant. And what have you got that I can build up? What's useful for our market? We need a lot of grain, so grain is the perfect thing to build up. Oop, that's sugar. Don't need that much sugar. Nice even spread of agricultural development here should provide everything the country requires in order to not be wanting to be part of a different country. I'm liking this money balance. Our amount of money seems to continue to go down, but we're not in the negative. We're not in debt, so I'm feeling pretty good overall. Oh, it feels so good to have control over my own diplomacy. Oh, excellent. Ooh, Ethiopia exists. Hey there. What if I turned Ethiopia into a protectorate? That would be nice, wouldn't it? Rubber in Mysore. Thomas Burt, exiled from Great Britain. Mr. Burt, what do you have to offer? You're a reformer aligned with the trade unions? Functionally nothing. Gold in New Zealand, that's fun. What else? Let me take a quick look at our politics here. Doing good with this law. Doing pretty good with that. Again, I can't let my infamy get too high, because I'm still... I'm a pretty strong country overall, but not too strong. Oh, I was going to look at my tech. Dissenters break ranks, a stall event. To outside observers, the government of India may appear firmly committed to the idea of dedicated police force, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters have finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of the reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own concerns are left unanswered, and our own desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard here, we shall be so elsewhere. Splitters, may the devil take them. Minus 15% enactment chance, weaker government of India. Loosen our purse strings, perhaps we can lure some of them back. £15,000 in government expenses. Minus 10% enactment chance, slightly weaker government of India. Or offer them custodianship over a new draft. One setback, 10% enactment time increase. Slightly reduced strength of government of India. I'm actually going to go with the... No, I don't want a setback. I'm very close now. This is probably a smart thing, but I don't want to risk it. So I'll pay the cash. I'm good on money right now. Cash flow is very solid. Bureaucracy is very solid. As dedicated police forces get going, trade unions have become unmarginalized. That's an interesting situation, which we'll definitely take into account. Opium addiction. Oriya people are experiencing severe effects of opium addiction. The use and abuse of the substance has spread throughout northern Sirkars. The opium eater lies under the weight of incubus and nightmare. He lies in the sight of all that he would fain perform, just as a man forcibly confined to his bed by the mortal languor of a relaxing disease, who is compelled to witness injury or outrage offered to some object of his tenderest love. He curses the spells which chain him down from motion. He would but lay down his life, if he might but get up and walk. But he is as powerless as an infant, and cannot even attempt to rise. Tragic. Alright, and relations with Great Britain are improving, which is good. So how's our... Liberty Desire? Our Liberty Desire continues to be high. Wow, and it's going way up. Oh, Great Britain got hyper infamous. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to be I don't need to be independent. Cues up pan-nationalism. So I know that if I know that in the old world, if you got free as India, or if you got free as the British Raj, and you had pan-nationalism researched, you had the ability to form India and keep hold of the entire country. I don't know if that's the case, but if it happens, and if we turn out to get free, then maybe, just maybe, I'll continue to build up my Liberty Desire, and maybe we'll be India. Maybe time for India to have an India. Britain has had an India aplenty. Time for India to have an India. Grain is really expensive. Popular playwright endorses reform. In the midst of the debate surrounding dedicated police force, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the government of India, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. The man's viewpoints may be somewhat partisan, but sir, you cannot argue with his prose. Dedicated police force will be on everyone's lips now, 10% enactment chance. This sure puts the government of India in a good light, 10% interest group pop attraction for the government of India. Or let's ensure the play gets a wider international audience, 20 prestige, but only for 5 years. I'm going to go with the first one. I think that's just fine. At the moment, we are actually second in the prestige rankings, below Great Britain. But we're locked to 16th place because we're a vassal state, which is just the nature of the beast. So, can I Doctrine of Lapse these countries now? Bloc member actions, diplomatic actions. Okay, so I can't... Yeah, okay, alright. So I can't Doctrine of Lapse them, I have to annex. So it might be better if I can get Siam down to being a puppet, or if I could just get them to low liberty desire overall, then maybe I could I could do an annexation and use that as kind of an excuse to you know, when other places rise up, to start cracking heads and generally annexing more territory. Because annexing my own country is a high priority here. Now that I've finally got the ability to kick off my own diplomatic plays. Although I would love to be policing the realm. What's that cost? 1,300 from the... yeah, because I incorporated a lot of territory. Discord within the Ryots. An influential faction within the Ryots has grown frustrated with their government's neutrality on the topic of dedicated police force. Themselves in favor of the law, they've now resolved to form a separate political faction intent on passing it. How can you all stand idly by and watch the world pass before your eyes? Have you no sense of honor, of duty to your fellow man? I say nay to such lack of ambition, and I dare say I am not alone in this. With their support, the bill shall pass. 15% enactment chance, weaker Ryots. Or the government of India extend an open hand to these mavericks. 10% enactment chance, a stronger government of India, even weaker Ryots. I'm going to go with the second one. 43% enactment chance is very respectable. And overall, increasing the strength of the government of India is very good for the country. As you know, also I'm going to piss off the Ryots even more when I try to go to free trade, because they're the rural folk and they dislike free trade. Delicious water. So, 5 infamy to demand the treaty port in Bombay from Portugal. 6.1 to steal Gujarat. Much lower chance. If I demand the treaty port, who will step in? Spain will step in, clearly. Gaza will step in. Morocco will step in. Great Britain I could potentially bring in. I don't think I need any of them. 37% chance? I'll risk it. They've said no. Very well. Oh! Oh! This is that EU4 thing. Okay, this is something that we've wanted for a while. Or that I've wanted for a while. This is the decision to choose which country will conquer the territory. So I'm going to take it myself. And that's going to make all of this easier. Do I add this to the primary? I think I do. Do I? Yeah, I do, actually. I could bring in Great Britain in exchange for passing them a subject. Be pretty funny if I give him Sikkim. I'll give him Sikkim. You know what? It's fine. Take him. And we'll get the lads together. And if that's not enough lads, we'll get more lads. Let me see, I am shorting myself on, or projected to short myself on government capacity, so let's build up Ceylon as improving relations. Excellent. My territories that are low Ooh, Bihar. Bihar definitely needs more government. Go ahead and build that up. That should be enough for the policing to actually work. So we'll see who actually gets involved. I think Spain is extremely likely to, but again, I'm not frickin' scared of them. Too many capital ships. Oh, because some of these frigates aren't hiring. Well, that's very annoying. And now we need another leader. Let's go with the Badr Lux guy. Hey, 15% more enactment chance. Wonderful. Seems Spain might not get involved after all. Which, again, I would love if they didn't. All this territory is what they want, and again, Sikkim can be a subject of Great Britain as much as they like. I do not actually care about that. One of my companies fall apart? Seems so. That's okay. These things happen. Companies go out of business all the time. It just is what it is. Alright. Can I have a visual to when this is going to complete? No. I think it's going to complete before the end of the month, though. Shouldn't be too much longer. You know what? We'll just leave that for next time. That is all we've got time for today, my nerds. I have had a great time. I hope you've had a great time as well. It's been an absolutely wild session, but we've done a lot of good work and gotten a lot of things done that we needed to get done. So, that is it for today, and I will see you on the other side.